Melania Trump has always been a figure of fascination. From her days as a supermodel to her time in the White House, she's been known for her grace, poise, and that air of mystery that keeps everyone guessing. But recently, at 54 years old, she's done something no one saw coming. A series of bold, striking photos have exploded online, sparking endless debates and reactions. These aren't just glamorous pictures, they're making a statement, one that challenges everything people thought they knew about her. Why would the famously reserved former First Lady step into such an unapologetically confident spotlight now? What's the message behind these images? And what does this shift mean for her legacy and for women everywhere? Stick around because by the end of this video, we'll uncover a truth that will completely change the way you see her. And here's something to think about as you watch. These photos might not just be about Melania. They could be about a much bigger question, one that challenges society's expectations of women in the public eye. If you've ever wondered whether breaking free from those expectations is worth the risk, this story might just hold the answer. Stay with us until the end, and we'll reveal how this moment in Melania's life could inspire anyone, at any age, to take control of their own narrative. For years, Melania Trump cultivated an image of quiet elegance. As First Lady, she often stayed in the background, graceful, polished, and uncontroversial. She wore her role like a perfectly tailored designer gown, classic, timeless, and always appropriate. Even her public appearances and initiatives, while noteworthy, never strayed far from tradition. But something has changed. These recent photos reveal a Melania we've never seen before, bold, daring, and unapologetically herself. The images are filled with a confidence that feels almost defiant, as if she's saying, "This is me now. Take it or leave it." What's striking is how far this transformation goes. While she has always been associated with high fashion and beauty, these photos push boundaries in ways that feel deeply personal. They're not just about the clothes or the setting, they're about her taking control of her narrative in a way that breaks every rule we thought she followed. And that's the twist. Melania isn't just redefining herself. She's forcing everyone to rethink the expectations placed on women like her. Why shouldn't a former First Lady show this kind of confidence? Why can't she embrace her beauty and power at 54 without needing anyone's approval? These photos aren't just about her, they're about challenging the rules of the game entirely. Here's something to keep in mind. There's a reason these images have caused such a stir. They're not just beautiful. They're loaded with meaning, and the full impact is only starting to unfold. Coming up, we'll unpack the deeper message behind this bold move and how it ties to a bigger cultural shift. Stay tuned because the next part might just shift your perspective on what it means to reclaim your identity. At first glance, Melania's photos seem like a bold fashion statement, but there's much more beneath the surface. They signal a transformation, a moment where she's taking back control of how the world sees her. For years, her identity was shaped by the roles she played: the glamorous model, the supportive wife, the First Lady of the United States. Each of these roles came with expectations, and often they overshadowed the person behind them. But now the message is clear: she's stepping away from the shadows of those labels and stepping into her own spotlight. These photos are her way of saying, "I am not just a role, I am my own person." In a world that often tries to box women into specific images, this shift is as empowering as it is unexpected. It's also a reminder of how public figures, especially women, are often confined by the roles society assigns to them. Melania's bold move challenges those boundaries. It asks a powerful question: why should anyone, no matter how high profile, be defined solely by their past? At 54, she's proving that reinvention isn't just possible, it's powerful. But here's where things get even more interesting. These photos aren't just about Melania reclaiming her identity, they're sparking a much bigger conversation. How many women, whether in the spotlight or not, feel trapped by expectations? And what would it mean for them to take back control, just as Melania seems to be doing now? Next, we'll reveal how Melania's transformation is shaking up conversations about age, beauty, and self-expression. Could this be a turning point for how society views women in their 50s and beyond? Stay with us, you won't want to miss what's coming. What makes Melania's photos so compelling isn't just how they look, it's what they represent. At 54, an age when society often starts to sideline women in the public eye, she's rewriting the narrative. These images challenge outdated notions of beauty and power, proving that confidence and self-expression don't have an expiration date. For years, there's been an unspoken rule that women over a certain age should tone things down, be less bold, less visible. Melania is shattering that rule. She's showing the world that beauty, sensuality, and strength can evolve with time, not fade. Her confidence in these photos is magnetic because it defies the stereotypes that society tries to impose on women. What's even more striking is the timing. After leaving the role of First Lady, Melania could have easily disappeared from the public eye, maintaining the quiet, polished image people expected. Instead, she's chosen to reintroduce herself on her own terms. It's a statement of independence, a way of saying, I am more than what you remember. These photos also send a powerful message to women everywhere. Age is not a limitation. Whether it's embracing personal style, expressing confidence, or breaking free from the expectations of others, Melania's move is a reminder that reinvention is always possible. But not everyone sees it this way. Critics have argued that such boldness is unbecoming for someone who once held a role as dignified as First Lady. This raises an important question: should women in the public eye conform to traditional expectations, or do they have the right to redefine themselves, no matter their past roles? Up next, we'll uncover the reactions to Melania's transformation, both the praise and the backlash, and explore what they reveal about society's double standards. Stick around, because the truth might surprise you. Whenever someone makes a bold move, the world tends to split into two camps, and Melania Trump's photos are no exception. On one side, many fans and supporters see this as an inspiring shift. They applaud her for stepping out of the box, embracing her beauty, and showing confidence at a stage in life when society often tells women to take a back seat. For them, this is a celebration of empowerment, a statement that women should define their own rules, no matter their age or past roles. But on the other side, the backlash has been just as vocal. Critics argue that as a former First Lady, Melania should maintain a more traditional and dignified image. They claim that these photos go too far, blurring the line between confidence and overexposure. Some see this as a distraction, questioning whether such boldness undermines the seriousness of her former position. This division has sparked larger debates, especially about how women in the public eye are judged. Why is it that when men rebrand themselves or take risks, they're often praised, but women face such intense scrutiny? Melania's move forces us to confront these double standards. There's also an emotional layer to these reactions. For her supporters, this is about freedom to be bold, to reclaim identity, and to live unapologetically. For her critics, it's about expectations, what they believe a former First Lady should or shouldn't do. But here's the catch: who gets to decide what's appropriate? And why should someone's past role dictate their present choices? In the next section, we'll go even deeper into what Melania's move means on a cultural level and how it's changing the conversation about women in the spotlight. Could this moment redefine public expectations forever? Stay tuned for a perspective that might change your mind. Melania Trump's bold transformation isn't just about her, it's a moment that's challenging how society views women in power, beauty, and influence. For years, public figures like Melania have been placed under a microscope. Their every move is analyzed, their choices are judged, and their images are shaped by what others expect them to be. But with these photos, Melania has done something revolutionary. She's flipped the script. By stepping outside the traditional image of a First Lady, she's asking a question that makes many people uncomfortable. Why do women, especially those in the public eye, have to fit into neat, predictable categories? Melania isn't playing by those rules anymore. She's showing that you can be powerful and glamorous, graceful and unapologetically bold all at once. This moment taps into a much larger cultural shift. Women everywhere are pushing back against outdated stereotypes, proving that life doesn't slow down or become less meaningful after 50. Instead, it's a time to take charge, redefine yourself, and embrace your true identity. Melania's transformation is just one high-profile example of this movement, but it carries a message that resonates far beyond her own story. But there's still a tension here. Many people find this kind of reinvention threatening. It disrupts the comfort of old rules and expectations. Yet, isn't that the point? Change doesn't happen without discomfort. Melania's photos are part of that change, a push toward a future where women are free to define themselves on their terms, no matter their age, no matter their past roles. In the final section, we'll uncover the larger lesson from this moment and how it connects to all of us. What can Melania's bold move teach about identity, reinvention, and freedom? Stay with us, because the takeaway is something you won't forget. Melania Trump's stunning transformation is more than a personal reinvention, it's a wake-up call. It challenges the way we think about identity, self-expression, and the expectations placed on women in the public eye. Her bold move forces us to confront a reality we often avoid. Society has rules for how women should look, act, and age. And those rules are long overdue for a rewrite. At its core, this is about freedom, the freedom to define yourself, no matter what others expect. Melania's photos serve as a reminder that identity isn't fixed. It evolves, whether you're stepping away from a high-profile role or simply trying to rediscover yourself, her story shows that it's never too late to reclaim your narrative. But it's not just her story. It's ours too. How often do we let others define us? How often do we hold back, afraid to take risks or challenge the roles we've been given? Melania's move encourages all of us to ask a simple yet powerful question. Who do I want to be, and what's stopping me? For some, her boldness might feel uncomfortable. For others, it's empowering. Either way, it's impossible to ignore. Because whether you agree with her choices or not, she started a conversation we all need to have. Now, here's the real question for you. What does Melania's transformation make you think about your own story? If you've ever felt held back by expectations or unsure of how to embrace the next chapter of your life, this moment might hold more inspiration than you realize. Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're ready to keep questioning the rules, stay with us, we're just getting started.